Good evening, everybody. I'm Hisham Ahmed Khaled. I'm an English teacher for a grade 9 and a school principal. Due to the current situation and the crisis in Lebanon, we are going to discuss some important issues about the English language for a grade 9 via the internet and social media. Today or tonight, we are going to discuss some important issues about an important lesson for a grade 9, which is active and passive. The active and passive voice. First of all, let's begin discuss some important issues about active and passive voice. Let's begin with the present simple, the first rule. Present simple. Present simple. Let's put an example. Storms cause destruction. This is an active sentence. First of all, the first step is to underline the subject of the sentence. Second step is to underline the verb and then underline the object of the sentence. So the first rule, the first step in solving such a problem is underline the subject, verb, and object in this sentence. Second, you have to shift the object of the sentence to the subject position of the passive sentence. Let's begin with the capital letter, destruction. So second step is shift the object to the subject position of the passive sentence. So we make a shift for destruction to the subject position of the passive sentence. Second, we have to put one of the verbs to be. Am, is, are, was, were. We have to choose one of them. We look at the verb of the sentence. It is in the simple present, so you have to delete was and were. Since we are explaining the present simple, so destruction, we can delete are and am, so destruction is. Then we put the part 3 of the verb, the past participle of the verb, which is caused. So destruction is caused, and then we add by storms. So we can add here number 3, put the suitable verbs to be. Then number 4, add the part 3 of the verb, which is past participle. Then number 5, add by when necessary. Here in this sentence, storms, so we have to add by storms because it is necessary here. So this is the first step or first rule. The second rule, past simple. Let's put an example. For example, they drew a map of Palestine. So, we can follow such steps in solving the question or the sentence. First of all, underline what we have here. They is the subject. Drew is the verb. A map of Palestine, it is an object. So we have to shift the object of the subject position to the we have to shift the object to the subject position with the passive sentence. Here we have to put here a map of Palestine. So the verb here in the past, so we have to put was. And a map of Palestine is singular. And the part 3 of the verb is drawn. Draw, drew, drawn. It's not necessary here to put by them. So a map of Palestine was drawn. This is the second rule. The third rule about active and passive, the present continuous or present progressive. For example, Jack is helping Rose. First of all, we have to put Rose here. This is subject, this is verb, this is object. Put object in the first of the sentence. Rose is. Here we have some difference. We have ing in the verb, so we have to add being. We have to add being because the verb in the present progressive, and we have to put the part 3 of the verb is being held by Jack. Number 4, rule number 4, past progressive. For example, we were taking the projects. Underline the subject. We is the subject. Were taking is the verb. The projects, object. We have to put first the projects. It is in the past, so we have to put were. And because we have ing in the sentence, the progressive, we have to add being, and the part 3 of take, taken. It's not necessary to put by because we have here pronoun. It's not necessary. So these are the first 4 rules for active and passive voice. Let's begin. Let's revise the present simple. We have to add is are and part 3 of the verb. Past simple, we have to add was or were plus part 3 of the verb. If we have a progressive, we have to add being. And also we have to add being here, but this sentence in the past and this sentence in the present. Okay? Now, rule number 5. Present perfect. Present perfect. For example, I have broken the ashtrays. First of all, as we discussed before, underline the subject, verb, and object of the sentence. I is the subject, have broken, verb, the ashtrays, object. Then we have to put the object here, the ashtrays. Here in the present perfect, we have to put have or has, but here, because it's plural, we have to add have, and you have to add been here. So in the present perfect sentences, you have to add been. And then the part 3 of the verb was written there, was broken. So it's not necessary to put by because we have here a pronoun. This is about the present perfect. Rule number 6, the past perfect. Let's write a sentence about past perfect. He had given an award. First of all, underline the subject. He is the subject. Had given is a verb. An award is an object. So you have to shift this object to the subject position. So it is an award here. An award. In the past perfect, always you have to put had, not have or has. And you have to add been. And the part 3 of the verb past participle is given. And that's it. It's not necessary to add here by because it is a pronoun here. So in the present and past perfect, you have to add the word been. You have to add the verb been in the present and past perfect. But in the present, you have to add have or has. But in the past perfect, you have to put had. This is about present and past perfect. Rule number 7. It's about simple future. Simple future. Let's write a sentence about Smith will solve the problems. First of all, simple future. Underline the subject of the sentence. Will solve verb. The problems object. You have to put first the problems here. So in the simple future sentence, because we have will here, you have to print it here. Will. The problems will. You have to add also be. In the present perfect sentences, you have to add been. In the simple future sentences, you have to add be. So the problems will be, and put here the part 3 of the verb solved. It's necessary to put by here, by Smith. By Smith. So, here, in the present perfect sentences and past perfect sentences, you have to add been. In the simple future sentences and modal, you have to add be. The last rule is 8. The modals. Let's choose one of the models here. For example, he may wash the car. Let's underline first the subject. He, subject. May wash, verb. The car, object. Let's put here first the car. If we have here may, you have to print here may. If we have here can, you have to print here also can. So the car may, we have to add also be. And the part 3 of wash, washed. Here we have pronoun. We don't have, it's not necessary to put by. So the car may be washed. Let's add something to this rule, the modals. The modals can be may, or can, or could, or might, or must, etc. So if we have here may, you have to print here may. If we have can, you have to print here can. If you have could, might, must, whatever. So these are the rules for the active and passive voice. So first of all, the steps in to solve such sentences, to shift the sentence from the active to the passive voice, we have first to underline the subject, verb, and object for each sentence. Second step, shift the object to the subject position of the passive sentence, like here, like this. For example, here I have broken the ashtrays. The ashtrays will be here in this position. Number 3, put the suitable verbs to be am, is, are, was, were in the simple and past sentences. Add part 3 of the verb like this. Washed. And number 5, add by when necessary. These are the rules for the active and passive voice. So I advise you to memorize some of the rules which are found in my book, Page Facilitator. This book is known for all the students. The rules will be found in my book on page 66. The guys here will scan it and put it as an attachment. Also, you can use the page 74-75, the part speech of the verbs, which are irregular verbs. These are common verbs which are found in my book, page 74-75. Also, I advise you to solve the sentences related to active and passive voice in the official exams from 2001 to 2019. Thank you.